Let's welcome in Kristin Tate. She's an analyst for Young Americans for Liberty. She's also the author of The Liberal Invasion of Red State America. Also joining us now, Maryland congressional candidate Kim Klacik. Kim, Kristin, great to see you both.
Great to see you, John.
I'm probably going to get in trouble for saying that. I don't think you can say who's wearing the pants here anymore, but AOC is kind of using some cultural appropriation, if you will, using the Stones reference. I mean, how does this all square now, Kim? We're not supposed to have gender identities or assign gender roles. AOC seems to be, bucking that trend here.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to work, right? Well, they only talk about things when it fits their narrative. When President Trump, is nominated for a Nobel Peace Prize, they want to get rid of it. When he wins with the Electoral College, they want to get rid of it. Right now, they want to pack the court. It's just they just want to do things when it's convenient for them, and that's the problem that we have. Now, AOC and others in the squad, they're talking about expanding the court, but this is why I'm glad I'm running for Congress, and I hope to be there in January, because I will take on these women that basically throw our Constitution out and throw out what we've been doing in this country for a very long time that has worked. Everyone keeps complaining on the left about how things are going in America, but they wouldn't be in those seats if it wasn't for the way America is today. So I would love to get there and teach AOC a lesson.
Well, it's been quite an evolution from AOC, the New York City bartender, to the Washington power broker. It only took 2 years. Her race, one of the most expensive in the country this year. Kristin, when you look at AOC, she's now on the cover of Vanity Fair, getting the star treatment. Nothing new for her, as it were. But, I'm not saying she has to wait her turn or anything like that. I'm all for, young people having a stake in everything that takes place here. But to see somebody like AOC go from this Washington outsider to the cover of Vanity Fair, now making demands about who sits on Joe Biden's cabinet if he wins, this is normal. This is the evolutionary cycle once somebody goes to Washington. Kim will be immune, of course, but for most people, this is what happens.
You're right. Unfortunately, AOC is the face of today's Democratic Party. These people are radical, they are far left, and they're not even trying to hide it anymore. And Joe Biden has shown us that he has no intentions of stopping the far left if he is elected president. This is a man who just wants buildings and bridges named after him, and he's going to probably just kind of sit in his office while he lets these far left wingers like Kamala Harris run roughshod over him. He will let these far-left ideologues be the ones calling the shots. And voters need to understand, even voters who don't like Donald Trump's personality, that if you vote for Joe Biden, you are voting for this leftism that will completely remake this country. Not only will they pack the Supreme Court, they will remove the filibuster and give D.C. and Puerto Rico statehood. They will erode our Second Amendment rights. These are people who want fundamental change. So we cannot let them make this election about personality and Donald Trump being this very mean orange man. It's about policies that will shape the future of this country for generations.
And one of the most important policy decisions that needs to be made is what to do with this Section 230. We have this hearing happening right now. I think we have a live look at what's going on. We've seen these big tech oligarchs, the monopolies, whatever you want to call them, testifying today. We have a senator from New Mexico here speaking right now. But when we look at this situation, Kim, I know you want to go to Washington, but it does seem like, at least historically, Congress has been powerless when it comes to reining in the undue influence of big tech.
Yeah, it seems so. I mean, this is why it's important, I think, to have young, fresh faces in there, because if we remember correctly, when we saw Congress talking about what's going on Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat, they had no idea what they were even talking about, because I don't think any of them actually have an account on the social media platforms. So we have people making decisions that have no idea how this works. I don't think they understand that conservatives are being basically silenced. And if they are, there are probably people that like it. I just found out recently that Facebook is now no longer running political ads. And because of the fact that I can't get on some of these mainstream networks, I have to run political ads on social media to get my message across to other audiences. So it was just not fair. And yes, I will be on Capitol Hill fighting against it.
Kristin, you and I are both, I think Kim probably feels the same way. We have that libertarian lean. You don't want government involved. And it's not that you don't want government involved. It's just we have a record of government trying to help, but only making the situation worse. That's usually what happens in these types of situations. And I think about that question that Orrin Hatch asked Mark Zuckerberg in one of these hearings a long time ago. He didn't even know how they make money. And it just goes to show you kind of the gap between what Silicon Valley is doing and what Congress really knows. And I do think there are some fresh new voices on there. Josh Hawley comes to mind. Ted Cruz certainly holding Jack Dorsey's feet to the fire today. But Kristin, you know, this is what we need Congress for. They got to step up to the plate here. We don't like government regulations, but when these companies have such influence over what we see, what we read, the information we get, there is no other option.
Right. Well, there's a difference between giving the federal government power over how these companies operate and just holding these companies accountable. It's time we start treating Facebook, Twitter, and these other tech companies the same way we would treat CNN and Fox News, because the fact is they're not operating like non-biased platforms. These are publishers now. They are censoring conservative voices. And funny enough, we're talking about this, John, this morning. I logged on to my email and found out that I'm locked out of Twitter. I still can't get into my account. Twitter's given me no reason. I can't contact anybody there. It's so frustrating. And, you know, hopefully it's just a glitch, but I can't help thinking, is this because I'm a conservative? Is this some sort of way to target me? They've made us all so, you know, untrusting of these companies, and for good reason. And it's time these companies start being treated the same as every other publisher out there. Stop giving them special perks because they are not unbiased platforms anymore.
Right. I'm not saying it belongs in the Constitution, but, you know, you used to hear about it, passenger Bill of Rights or, you know, consumer Bill of Rights. There needs to be a social media Bill of Rights. Just the influence, the power is there, and something has to be done about it. Great to see you, ladies. Thanks so much.
Newsmax TV is now America's fastest growing cable news channel. We give you the real news you need. So subscribe to our YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up. If you like this video, share it with your friends. Newsmax TV streams live on YouTube for free. Newsmax TV, real news for real people.